So this guy Trump gets elected. Well, and then you see all this rhetoric escalate about how dirty Trump is. And so he's been in it for a couple of years now, but there's been time after time after time where you see them throwing, it's like it's throwing mud on the wall just to see something that will stick so they could impeach this guy for something, we don't care what. And so how many swings and misses do you have to have before, it's somebody else's turn to be up, okay? And so after the Mueller report, what a disaster the Mueller report is, and of course I've been on top of that, not from the mainstream news, and if there's been anything that's fake news, and people have known about this for a long time, I'm sure I'm not the only one that the news, has recognized that the news is just, whatever they want us to believe. And to keep us cornered in, it's part of a strategy also to keep us divided. Fox News is just controlled opposition. I'm not talking about the individuals there. I'm talking about Fox News in general. And then you got the other guys, which, nowadays, there's no question about it. They lean left, and, it's more than just left. It's anti-Trump. And you can see the narrative changing. They're trying to change the narrative to make it sound like nationalism is something evil, and being white, is it's a racist comment. Okay, you know this, and if it was black this or that, people would be calling it racist. But if it's a white this or that, in this case nationalist, that's a racist comment. Okay, it doesn't mean they're racist, but it's a racist comment. Okay, lots of times people make racist remarks, even in a joke. We heard Hillary Clinton say something a little while back. They all look the same, or something like that, she said. And it was meant to be a joke, and people took it as a joke, and no big deal. But boy, think about Trump saying something like that. Wow, that's just some of the ammunition that they need to cause an outrage. And, so it's just, the hypocrisy is so, so incredible. You'd have to be completely plugged into only those sources, the Washington Post or CNN or one of those outfits, without doing any homework yourself. And maybe that's what Americans are used to anyway. They just come home from work and they crack open a beer and they turn on whatever their favorite news station is, and they get the news and they become convinced, because that's all they hear. It's not really their fault. That's all they hear. And so they become convinced that so-and-so is a good guy and so-and-so is a bad guy, and without doing any of their own homework. And it's really not that hard. Anybody could go to the internet. You can get pieces of information here and there. And by the way, going to Snopes is not homework. That's not research. That's just giving up your own mind to another, authority, if you will. Or, conceived authority, perceived authority. And there's others like that too. Whoever they are, even if they lean right or pro-Trump, you still have to, you still have to use your own mind. Is there anything wrong with using your own mind? I just think it's a smart thing to do. They don't want us to do that. They want us to stay dumb. Now, that's not to say that we're stupid, but they want us to stay dumb, okay? So they spoon feed us what they want us to believe. They throw a bunch of passion in there, and, they're talking about, Trump destroying our democracy. And, in a way, it's kind of like that's a good thing, because we don't have a democracy. We have a republic. That's what it was intended. That's how it's built. And so it's like, let him destroy the democracy and bring forth and reestablish our republic. And so remember back in the day, some of you guys used to say the Pledge of Allegiance at school and stuff, and to the republic for which it stands. The California flag says California Republic. The Supremacy Clause in the Constitution says that each state is to establish a Republican form of government. That does not mean that Democrats are all bad and that sort of thing. It is different. We have democratic processes, okay, but we really need to have two parties that we could have intellectual discussions with. I don't believe we need to have one party. I don't believe, it's kind of like right now, it just seems like the Democratic Party is on full tilt boogie mode to destruction. It's like an extinction event is happening to the Democratic Party, which is a bad thing, really. I believe we need to have two parties. And, we still have, the other factions too, which is, the Green Party and so forth. But we need to have this so we could have an intellectual discussion. But what we're really seeing here is the destruction, the attempted destruction of the Republic, of America, of our values, of our Bill of Rights, and, our Constitution. And our Bill of Rights, that's a foundation right there. Our freedom of speech, we see in the techno-Nazis. If you subscribe to YouTube channels and you watch YouTube channels, then that's really the future of news, is independent people being their own newscasters and that sort of thing. You can subscribe to the ones you like, and love them or hate them. If we've got these guys all deplatformed within a 24-hour period. They deplatformed Alex Jones. You can hate his guts if you want to. Hey, don't listen to him. But the point is, he's got a right to speak. And these platforms, under Rule 230, I believe it is, are protected because they are a platform, a free speech platform. But when they start editing people and deleting people, they're actually editors. And this is the fight that's getting ready to happen. People are suing these outfits and stuff. But still, you know what? If you're listening to Alex Jones, you just name your favorite YouTube channel where you get your information from, or you should be getting your information from something that is not mainstream news, Washington Post, etc., etc. I think it's good. Watch both of them. I don't anymore, okay, because I've already made this discoveries that I need to. But I think you should do the same thing, so you could decide. It's going to be obvious that we are being lied to. You get to decide who's lying. Okay, and then once you make your own discoveries, you own that, okay? And so nobody else is going to be able to tell you that what you're listening to is hogwash. Oh, they'll argue with you. I got some of them that argue with me, and that's fine. Just like on Facebook pages and stuff. And I don't expect to change their opinion, but other people that watch the conversations, I think, can find a bigger value in it. Kind of went down a rabbit hole there, really, but the whole point here really is that you remember George Bush when he said, New World Order? That was a worldwide thing that was happening. You had leaders going all around the world making this New World Order comment. That's what we're seeing happening now with other leaders around the world. They're done with the New World Order junk that's going on. The people are sick and tired of the New World Order junk that's been trying to be, attempted to be perpetrated on us. And so we're seeing these people dismantle that, and that's what Trump is doing. That's what he was elected to do, as he puts it, drain the swamp. Okay, because these bad guys have been protected by other bad guys in the Justice Department, primarily. And I can't, the title of this is, something about the FBI being dirty. And you could go back in time, you could see, that one pedophile that really brought the FBI into fruition, and that was J. Edgar Hoover. And he was dirty as, as a guy could bet, he was spying on everybody, and blackmailing judges, politicians, and business people. Same thing that's going on now. So the idea that, it's dirty from the top, okay? That doesn't mean that all FBI guys are bad, but, what can they do? Their hands are tied to some degree.